So I'm gonna get started right now. I put first of all, my first step that I have my poaching liquid, right, which is my water. I have no salt in here, right? Do you see that it becomes a boil? This is what boiling looks like. So if anyone can't see any of my pots, you need to move closer. So once it's boiling, I turn it down until it becomes a poaching state, which is the water's pretty calm. You understand? Okay. Do you see the amount of steam that's coming out? The steam is what cooks the egg, right? So you have to be careful how it's going to be cooking. I'm going to switch it up because I want to go and not strain my bag. So I'm going to melt my half a cup of butter. Okay, so for half a cup of butter, you should be able to poach one egg or do it with one egg. Generally, and you're going to get 4 of these. Okay? I'm basically, if you can be successful and use 3, great. But I'm giving you 4. But I'm not going to give you any more than 4. So use it accordingly. 2 of them needs to be for poaching. And if you want, you can start off by doing 2 for your hollandaise sauce. Or if you are scared, start off with 1. And then afterwards, if there's broken, you still have another. Okay? It's safer to do 2. And it's more dangerous to do it with 1. But I'm going to do it with 1 and I'm doing it with a buffer. If you want, you can start with 2. And then if anything fails, I guess you could use one of your poaching eggs. Okay? But you're getting no more than 4. All right? I can't give you endless eggs. I don't have the budget for that. And it sounds like, oh, it's just a little bit of eggs. It's not. So I have my liquid going in here. I'm going to go and add my half cup. Okay? And I'm letting my clarified butter to separate the layers. I'm not letting it boil. If it boils, all the layers combine again. Okay, I want it to separate. So while that happens, I'm gonna go and start by getting my English muffin ready to go. And you have 2 choices. You have the choice of adding a tomato, or you can add ham, okay? So for some of you, I know that it's not a very hard choice to make. I'm going to add a little olive oil for me, just because my butter, I'm going to be adding lots of butter already, but I am also a lover of fat, so I'm going to take a little bit of butter and olive oil. That combo is like classic for me. I love butter and olive oil. For some reason it tastes so good. It's that zestiness of the olive oil and then this really tasty creaminess of butter. Don't ask me why. It's my guilty pleasure. Okay. My egg whites. I need to make sure that I'm going to go and crack my eggs now. While that happens, I have a little bit of salt. So I'm going to do one of them with a tomato because tomatoes actually go really well with my eggs. All right, kind of something to offset the creaminess of it. All right, so I'm going to go and start off by doing that, but the other one I'll have ham. Okay. When you put your tomatoes on, you're going to go and add a little bit of salt and pepper. Ready to go. I'm going to have it ready. Now remember my potatoes are in the oven, so don't forget about them. Looking pretty good. They want it to be golden brown. And how do I know when my potatoes are done? My observation for my potatoes is if I can take a fork and go in and out without any resistance. So meaning the potatoes isn't like I'm forcing it to go, the fork to go in and pulling it out with force. Okay? So I also have my ham. I'm going to put in, I need a lot, so I'm just going to make sure I'm tucking it in. The thing that I hate is things hanging out of the edges, so please make sure it stays in the edge. Okay. Now for the fun part. My sauce or my hollandaise clarified butter is almost separated. Okay, you'll see that the top part, if you look very closely, so I'll let you guys kind of go in a little bit. You'll see that it's separating into layers. This is really golden yellow. Okay, that's like the stuff that you put onto like, you know, your popcorn kind of stuff like that. And the top part is your fat solids, okay? So your crystals of fat, which gives it the flavor. And then the bottom, which you don't see right now until I scoop it out, will be the milk liquid, okay? I'm gonna start off with my 2 egg. And when you're cleaning this, I do save the egg whites. Egg whites are gonna use for meringues, so make sure that it is free of yolks or else, and free of any type of grease. If you do have it, you're gonna take this whole container and I can't use it. All right? And does anyone remember what your eggs whites are gonna be like? What's good for? It has 0 fat, so it is, but it's 100% protein, right? So it's super healthy for you. So in your, in here, notice my amounts I'm gonna start adding, okay? I'm gonna add a little bit, like almost a teaspoon of water, okay? All right? So not too much, because remember what water or liquid does? What does liquid do? It breaks down the protein. I need the protein to help. Add a little bit of Tabasco sauce, just for flavor.
Leave that stuff like
Okay, so just a little bit. You can always add more if you want after. Start off with less, add more, you can't take away. That's a general rule, right? So once this is melted, I take it off the heat, okay? And leave it in a warm place. I know that my potatoes are almost done, so I'm gonna turn it down. I'm just gonna go and add a little bit of salt. Salt for flavor because it dissolves, but not too much. You can always add more later. I'll add a little bit of salt, and I need some citrus just to kind of balance everything out. All right, when you're talking and cooking now, you need to taste balance. Meaning, if I eat this, my first bite is gonna be really tasty, but I want it so that it will last till the last bite, it'll still be tasty. Did you ever eat something and after a while it got boring?
Yeah.
Okay, it's called one dimension. So what I'm doing is I have a little spice, a little bit of sour to offset my creaminess. Okay, so when I eat it, I'm always still wanting more. You understand what I'm saying? So your taste buds don't get boring is what I'm trying to do. And that's how you should start cooking. And that's what makes it so that some people say, oh, wow, chef, your food tastes really good. And I have to say it's because I learned to balance the flavors. All right? So now that I've got this in here, okay, and I got my lime. It could be lemon. I'm just doing lime because I want to use up my limes. I'm going to whisk this up, and I'm going to put this on. And you have to work it pretty well. So I'm going to go and whisk. And I'm going to go and heat it up. All right. I have a little too much water here, just to let you know, because you see how it's kind of dripping water. It shouldn't do that. So I'm going to have to spoon out some water. Okay, ready for my poach after. Put it on, and you want to control your heat. It will get a little hot, so if you guys are doing it as a partner, one person gets to the ribbon stage, the other person does the adding of the ingredients. As I'm going, I'm actually scraping all the edge, okay, off. If you actually spend too long on this stage, or the stirring stage, you're whisking the metal into your eggs. And then you'll end up having a gray hollandaise sauce, which I've seen at least one person do for each class. And what will happen is that you're literally eating the metal. So you guys gotta think, metal.
Wouldn't that like boost iron or something in your body?
It's, no, you're eating metal. So what you're gonna do is, I'm really controlling my heat, because if it gets too hot and I can tell because it's starting to look like it's lumpy and it's scrambled, I have to take it off and continue. Remember, there's something called residual heat, right? If I touch this, it's not gonna instantly be cold, it's still containing heat and it's still cooking my egg, right? So I am still kind of flipping it and whisking it. How do I know when it's ready? It's ribbon stage, meaning there's 2 indicators, so you have to write this observation down. One, it doesn't, do you notice when I'm doing the whisking, some of the egg actually runs back to the center? Yeah? So I do this, it runs back to the center, right? You want it so it doesn't do that, okay? 2, it's so thick that you're able to go and write your name on there. Okay, and it stays. Kind of like your pancakes, but a little thicker. Okay. So once you get to this point, you just have to kind of continue to put it on and off. Okay. Let's just say the more you end up cooking and spending too long on this stage is actually not good for the hollandaise sauce. All right. So once you get to the ribbon stage, I know it's done now because I can scrape it, and do you notice that it's not moving back into, so if you can't see, come over, okay? But you should, when I scrape it, it's not kind of running down, you can see the lines. So that's ribbon stage, okay? Once I got that, I'm gonna go and start to add my, I'm gonna put this back up here so that you can see. I'm gonna go and start to put my butter right in. Now, I will take it a little at a time, and I'll start to take the top and not the bottom, okay? And I'm gonna slowly drizzle it in a steady stream. So your next partner, so whoever, you guys do a switch already by this time, okay? And you do a slow, steady stream. Okay, constant, because remember, you still want it warm, all right? But you don't want to, and you don't want to cool it down. So you're not like totally whisking it, okay? And you kind of do it. So if you add too much, it's gonna split. So I'm gonna purposely split so I can show you how to do it again. So if you end up, let's see if I can do this. If you end up splitting it, perfect. Yeah, I split it.
How do you tell?
How do you tell? Because you see that it's no longer, I'll even add the rest so that you can make it purposely. Ooh, gross.
It's really good though.
Yeah.
Okay. See, it's split because you see that the oil separated,
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
right?
Oh,
Okay, so I need another. So you know that it's split because it looks like this? You're gonna go and do it again. So that's where my second one comes in. So can I get another bowl because I didn't allot the fact that I was gonna, well, I allotted that fact that it's split. I forgot that I was gonna show
Like
you.
a big bowl?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, the one that fits over the thing. So that's the other thing. You want to make sure that the bowl actually fits perfectly over, okay? So that you don't waste any of the steam. All right? While that happens, I'll look at my potatoes. Potatoes, it's golden. Able to take my finger, my knife, and in and out. See, no resistance. So I'm gonna go and put this
Too light.
on there. Is it good? Yeah, sure. Okay, and it goes. I'm gonna start this all over again. So what do I need? This, what's next? I need a little bit of lemon and lime or whatever, some kind of citrus. Tabasco,
olive oil. Wait, no.
olive oil,
No, sorry.
okay, Tabasco, salt, and then what else? A little bit of water, right? Like very little. Too much water is not good, so just a teaspoon or so. Now, guys, let me go and tell you again. If you split it, it's fine, but you have to allot the time. Just allot for your time that you might split it, so that you'll get it out on time. You understand what I'm saying? So go fast and just pretend that for sure you're gonna guarantee yourself to split. If you don't split. Ooh, I don't like this bowl. This bowl is not a good bowl. This bowl is gonna be difficult for me to go and control. Yeah, this one's harder for me to control because it's. Can you give me another bowl? This bowl.
Get the bowl.
Can someone get the bowl?
There's one right here.
Because it's starting to scramble even before I could.
Guys, hurry up, the bowl, seriously.
No.
Can you guys get a bowl like the first one?
Can you just get this type of bowl?
That one.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
8 people. 8 people in like 20 minutes. It took so much to get one.
Alright. I'm sorry, this already scrambling. So
Guys, it's not King's fault.
because okay guys, you see that there's this little lip over here? It's unable to go and hit it at this point, so it starts to scramble around this little edge where it's a lip. So yeah. It's okay, I said that it was okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go fast. And a little bit of warm water just to offset it. So I'm doubling my time, right? Okay, this part's very important. When you do the butter stage, do not put it on the heat, okay? Do not put it on the heat. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, if you do, you will split it. So I did it back to the ribbon stage. And now I'm gonna go and start adding my broken hollandaise sauce. Back on. So it's totally split, as you can see,
Whoa.
right?
Wow.
I'll put it right here. And same thing, if you don't have a partner, just use a towel. Okay, bring it over here.
This one part holds the other part.
Yeah, or the other partner holds the other partner pours. Can you see it? Okay, so I'm slowly pouring it into my, like I said, this is my butter now. A steady stream. I'm not sure in a good way. Okay, so it looks a little bit like mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. So now it's fixed. So it's a homogenized mixture. I'm gonna go and scrape everything else in here. Okay, not wasting. So scrape everything in. Okay. And it should look like this. It's a little thick right now from what I like it to be. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and add a little bit of water, warm water, okay? So add a little bit in and just loosen it up, okay? Or you can add some of the milk liquids. And it should be able to like gently coat your eggs. All right, should be this nice creamy yellow, okay? It should actually now, don't give it to me without tasting, okay? And don't say that you tasted it, because if I taste it, I'll be like, are you sure you tasted it? I'm not sure you tasted it, because you would fix it if you tasted it. So, it should be creamy, so I could taste the butter. I should be able to taste a little bit of the Tabasco. And I should be able to taste a little bit of the citrus. If I can't taste any of them, fix it before you go and add it to it. So there's a little zing to it. It's not just a little bit of
What was the third thing you should be able to taste?
the citrus. So everything that I've added, right? So I should taste a little bit of heat from the Tabasco. I should taste a little bit of citrus. If you can't taste all three, most likely you need more salt. All right? Because salt brings out the flavor. So if you can't taste all three, most likely it's because you didn't bring out the salt. So what do you do now? If this is done, okay, put it in a Goldilocks spot, which is just right. It's not too hot, not too cold. If it's too hot, it will split by itself. Too cold, it will stiffen up like butter and it will split when you put it onto the egg. All right? That's pretty simple. So I need two things. I need a saran wrap. And you're gonna saran wrap that, Sunny? Okay? And that's one way to keep the heat. Yeah, with the whisk in there.
Oh.
Okay, just saran wrap over. And then I need a plate. Perfect. So put up the plate in here for a little bit. This is all done. So my potatoes are done. And my English muffin is ready to go. Okay? While that happens, I'm gonna start plating. Should take no more than like a minute or two. So I'm gonna pull my warm plate out. I'm gonna start to plate. Got 1, 2. Got my potatoes that are nice and golden brown. Okay. Now, you don't have to use English muffins. You can use anything. Like I've used bread of any sort, cheese bread. I've done it on like mushrooms before, like portobello mushrooms. Okay. But this is ready to go because I have a big, lovely spoon. It's in here. I'm gonna give this a nice wash. Yeah. So hopefully my holy spoon doesn't like fail on me. And I'm gonna go and put this right on. Right? It should look like that. Okay? Nice and creamy.